Guys, Sean, Less Legal for Dummies. It's not perfect, but it is working 99% better. Even my old Kevlar, I did have a couple kick out. So it was totally adding another inanimate rod. Has improved at least my folded ballistic nylon. I want to say thank you to you guys for all your suggestions, and boy, there was a lot, and there were some good ones. Angling the back, which I think is probably the best solution. So that second layer that I have folded over here would actually be sort of, well, it'd be longer and tied down to the back, so almost like a pellet trap. That way the balls are actually deflecting down into the trap. Losing some layers, I think that's a very important one. This is 2 yards of fabric I bought, folded up into what you see here. And if I was building a trap again, I'd just buy the 1 yard. Obviously I could cut this one, but I'm crazy about cutting stuff. Because I can't get it straight, and I'm a stickler for stuff like that. So folding it is. And what you guys really had some good ones, and I'd love to try them all. But the bottom line is, everybody's trap is probably going to be a little bit different. And although I'd like to show you exactly how to build the perfect trap, I'm just shooting into it. I mean, I do care about my window and my motorcycles over there, but adding the extra rod has made a world of difference. Now, there are some things I learned about my trap, and this might apply to others as well, you know, if you're building one at home. And oh yeah, and a shout out to the other fellow there, sorry I can't recall his name at the moment, but anyways, he saw the video, went down to his local car wash and bought a barrel, and away he goes. You know, the hardest part is just getting the barrel, and it's not that hard. I think it's more like a sort of a mental block, really. But once you have the barrel, I mean, it's super easy to do, guys. And the materials can be found at Home Depot, Amazon, and I'm running on a tangent again there. Things I learned about my trap, and maybe your trap too. You may not be able to tell from here, but where I'm about 15 feet away, I'm 6'2". I am shooting at a downward angle into my trap. When I am in a crouching position, I'm shooting directly into the trap. I have far less ricochets, and at this point, the ricochets are super slow. I wouldn't say they might not break a window or something, but they're definitely, I got a couple. I put a lot of rounds into this now since this whole thing started. I didn't film it all, obviously. Probably, I don't know, 150, 200 into this. And I'll show you guys, I'll get you close up here in a second, show you the new Inanimate rod. So, your angle of trajectory seems to play a part in how these balls come flying out of there, if they come flying out of there. Another thing, so when I had this folded originally, I didn't fold it very nicely. And what had happened is, so you can see here, I got the 2 end sort of seams. That was on the front side. So this side with this pleat, like the fold here, is actually, it's a little bit stronger, so to speak. And I found when I hit near this edge where this stronger pleat was, that's when I got balls flying out. When I hit this side that didn't have the pleat, it was a little bit, obviously it has more, it's more forgiving, it's weaker, and it kind of just flops with the flops. I think I just made that up, with the projectile, and that one tends to stay in the trap. So I've refolded it so that both of the pleated edge, so I will have nice folded edges on the outside face that I'm hitting. I still do get the ricochets I was getting are when I hit near the edges here. Hitting straight on, they are few and far between. Something else is shorter is better. I would go actually shorter here if my window is shorter, but because I'm such a terrible shot, I don't want to get in between the barrel and the actual ballistic and be banging into the back and possibly going through the garage door or what have you. So I know a lot of you guys said, you know, 6 inches from the bottom, yada, yada, yada. I mean, I probably am, well, I'm probably like 8 inches there from the bottom. But I'm just below this threshold here. Shortening the drape improved that sort of, I don't know if you watch when you're hitting it, it kind of jumps up and kind of grabs your balls. The longer that drape, the more that ball grabbing tends to come up and eject your projectiles out of the trap. So the shorter I've found, they tend to just down. They go down. And I think that has a lot to do with the swing as well, which many of you mentioned. And swing was something I was aware of. And I think my problem with the swing is because my fabric is folded too many times and it's too heavy. So it wasn't swinging as well when I had it draped really low. So now that it's high, it makes a very nice downward angle into the trap, as opposed to when it was long, it kind of just is lazy if I wanted to put a label on it. Those are things that I've learned just doing this. I mean, it's a new material to me, and honestly, when I originally bought this was the twill Kevlar. I folded it in half like that. So this would have been 1 yard, which is half of what that is, just like that, and that's all I did. And it did very well for a very long time. Like I said, it wasn't perfect either. And if you watch enough of my videos, you saw balls coming out of there. By no means a trap expert, but maybe these are takeaways for you guys because I learned a lot from you guys. So there is no right way. If anything, it's about experimenting in a safe manner, of course. So if you have the option to go outside and maybe practice setting it up, I would highly recommend that. I don't have that option, but let's show you the new Inanimate rod, and I'll show you. It's a funny thing because the way I have it draped in here isn't what you think, but it works for me. I would say in the last 50 rounds I put into it like this, 3 maybe bouncy balls came out, and they were much slower. So let's have a look. First off, I'll show off my new Inanimate rod. So this is the original. Ow. This was a 7/8 rod, and I did exactly what I told you guys you should do and cut the head off your wife's broomstick. This is actually a broomstick handle. So I drilled, this rod's in the center. I added 4 inches. Let's move that out of the way. What am I doing here? Yeah, I just measured 4 inches from center here and drilled another hole in the forward position. And because this rod here, broomstick handle, is 1 inch diameter, I stepped it down a little from the original 7/8, just so I could get I could actually get my fingers up in between here. The 7/8 is pretty tight, so I think with that 1 inch it would have been too tight even for my little eye pokers. Yeah, so drilled it, put the new rod through. Obviously I have not cut it yet. That is, I'm not kidding you, that is a full-on broomstick handle. See the end there? So, this is where it gets interesting. It's almost like the original setup, but I don't know why this works for me. I tried just the full-on loop over, and I was still getting more ricochets than I wanted. And I just started playing with the folds, and that's how I came kind of to this conclusion here. So this is a forward edge of the panel that I'm shooting into. And let me grab it here. This is the forward edge also, so they're on the same side. They're both on the front. And previously I had, remember mine's double folded because I got way too much material. I had this edge on the front, and it was causing this ballistic nylon to kind of twist because these folded edges are a lot stronger, or stiffer. So I don't know what else to say, guys. I folded it over this one and over the back, and then I pinned it here, and it has been working well as I demonstrated in the beginning of the video. I'm quite happy with that. And the bonus is this stuff doesn't, I know Mike O'Brien was asking about fiberglass, if this particular Ballistics dropped any fiberglass, and the short answer is no. My Google research says this is just woven nylon that is laminated together with polyurethane. So there's no fiberglass in it. And hence, the trap is clean. Whereas this stuff, this was, I think it was labeled fire retardant Kevlar. It is dusty. It would leave little pillows of fabric and just dust in general. And I don't think fire retardant is good for you either. I don't know, but in a nutshell, that's my trap. I think one last test before I go, and I'm gonna load some BKs into my M17, and we'll try them in the new SMG mag, and we'll see what those points do to the ballistic nylon. I got 8 BKs. These are 8.1 grams. And they are bore matched to a 685 barrel. I am using a Lapco 684 barrel. Let's see what it does. And I'm gonna use the SMG mag, as I stated. This would be the first time shooting these in here, so we'll see how they do. I will chrono these just to see how they do in that barrel as well, actually. I did test these, just a drop test through my 684 by 14 inch, and they go through like nobody's business. Like bore match. So I am very interested in testing that barrel. I did not even pull this barrel out to see if they fit through, but I've been known to just jam things in that don't fit. All right. I don't know about this. We'll see. There you go. Loaded in. Grab me some spectacles. Alrighty, first shot. Well, that one came out of there fast. 330. Of course, now I eat my words. Actually, I haven't shot any shape projectiles at it as it stands, so here we go. Let me crouch down a little bit here to get more straight on. 316, and crouching down, of course, made all the difference there. 314, seem to be shooting fine in this barrel. We go 4, and I'm under 1,000 PSI, guys. So I'll just bang these off. Last one anyways. So I got one left in the mag and one there, ball on deck, and one that came out. I think I might just bump my trap up a little bit. Originally, I had it in this down position because I was worried about the window, but it seems that when I shoot more perpendicular to the trap, it seems to keep the rounds in. But in any case, I'm not going to beat the trap to death anymore. I think it's all about experimenting. What works for me may not work for you. So I hope this is helpful, and by all means, send me all the suggestions in the world, because if you're following along, you're gonna see problems, and maybe you catch something that I don't. Maybe I just cut the damn ballistic nylon, but I'm okay with the odds right now, guys. Let's have a closer look at those BK rounds after the impact. So I can see already pointy stuff. Those are the BKs right there. I can actually see, if you look closely, you can see the imprint. See those lines or the center strike? You can actually see that diamond pattern on the tip, but strike. I don't shoot pointed projectiles that often. I'm a ball kind of guy, not in that way, but I can't comment on the long-term durability of this because I never really shot pointed too much at my other Kevlar there either. I mean, I did, but it was in its later days and it was already beat. So maybe avoid the pointed stuff. We will be turning the suck up here in a little bit, you know, in some upcoming videos. So we'll see how it stands. But I got an extra yard of it. Like, subscribe, and share, guys. Thanks.